You know what? It's always interesting when you hear people who were attached to something and the people who are attached to something not getting along so well. And that, unfortunately, is kind of the story right now, as there are reports coming out that George R. R. Martin, it's not just reports, it's him himself saying that him and his relationship with the guy who is now the showrunner of House of the Dragon, that the state of their relationship, as George R. R. Martin would say, is now abysmal and not good at all. And he's complaining about it. The article from Superhero Hype goes on and explains this. During the airing of House of the Dragon Season 2, Martin wrote a now deleted blog post that mentioned a gripe he had with several changes Ryan Condal, that's the new showrunner of House of the Dragon, made in the TV adaptation of his book Fire and Blood. Since Martin's blog post, his relationship with Condal has deteriorated. It's worse than Rocky, Martin told the Hollywood Reporter. It's abysmal. Martin and Ryan Condal co-created House of the Dragon. Martin hired Condal to work on it with the adaptation, and in the development stages, the creative partnership flourished. I thought Ryan and I were partners, Martin explained, and we were all through the first season. I would read early drafts of the script. I would give him notes. He would change some things. It was working really well, I thought. Martin then supported Condal when the later butted heads with co-showrunner Miguel I always mispronounce his name. Sapochnik.
Sapochnik.
Yeah. I always mispronounce his name. After season 1, Sapochnik, who won a directing Emmy for working on Game of Thrones, departed the series. However, Martin explains how things changed with Condal working on season 2. Then we got to season 2, and he basically stopped listening to me, Martin said. I would give notes and nothing would happen. Sometimes he would explain why he wasn't doing it. Other times he would tell me, oh, okay, yeah, I'll think about that. It got worse and worse, and I began to get more and more annoyed. Finally, it got to a point where I was told by HBO that I should submit all my notes to them directly and that they would give Ryan our combined notes. Then things reached a heated conclusion during a Zoom call with the show's producers and HBO executives. Martin disagreed with Condal's ideas for season 3 and allegedly said, "This is not my story any longer." All right. I got to admit, I have torn feelings on this, because on the one hand, I have heard, and I know a lot of people have heard this too, that George is not an easy guy to work with, and that not of all of his ideas are awesome when it comes to translating things from page to screen. And it sounds like that at some point the guy just stopped returning his calls. It sounds like it got to the point it's like, I can't take this anymore. You're just adding stress to my life. I need to cut this out. And he just stopped responding to his calls. So, but at the same time, while that is true on one hand, at the same time, what is also true is the other side of my brain, which is, I don't know, man, like even if you don't take any of his suggestions, you've got the creator of the universe here. At least hear him out. Like, let him continue to have a direct line to the showrunner. And if the showrunner doesn't want to take the ideas, then don't take the ideas. That's why you're the showrunner. You can decide to not take the ideas. That's fine. But at least hear him out. And so the fact that it got so bad that he's like, I don't even want George messaging me anymore. If George has ideas, send them to HBO, and then HBO can send them to me. That sounds pretty bad. And I don't know how, I don't know if George did or said things or maybe conducted himself a way that, Ryan just didn't want to deal with him anymore. I don't know if Ryan developed a king complex, like, hey, without Miguel here, I can just, or Sapochnik here, I can just do things my own way. I don't have to listen to anybody else. Maybe that's the case. So maybe he's got a king complex. Maybe George is just really difficult. I don't know. All I know is that it's really unfortunate because, listen, I had my doubts about House of the Dragon. I love this show. I mean, I straight up love it. And I love season 2 every bit as much as I love season 1. In some ways, I liked it even more. But I love the idea of these two guys working together. And it's kind of sad to me, Rob, to hear that their relationship has gotten to this point. Anyway, Rob, you heard the story about this. What's your main takeaway from it as you read through it?
Well, like you, I mean, look, people forget that George R. R. Martin was a writer-producer for 3 seasons on the 1987 fantasy series Beauty and the Beast that starred Ron Perlman and Linda Hamilton. So he is not unaware of how television works. He was a writer and a producer on that show. And I would think that, yeah, now maybe he's become more of a crotchety old man, but he did create the universe. And season 2 was, I think, demonstrably not nearly as effective as season 1. Now, you could say maybe because they cut it short, but I would say, look, whether I understand egos and working in TV is very fraught with peril and pressure. So I get that, but I think that George R. R. Martin is an executive producer and co-creator of House of the Dragon. So you better mend fences and be professional about it. And it's not like George R. R. Martin's over there on set causing a problem. He's talking to you from a distance. And I would say that, like you said, he is the creator of the world and the book that it's all been based on. So, you know, you should take his input, and at least if you can't deal with him, he is a necessary evil for you. So just kind of make it work.
Yeah, and you just pointed out the big difference, because I see some people who aren't paying attention in the live chat going things like, well, if you think he should take George R. R. Martin's call, why don't you think they should take Timothy Zahn's call? Well, as Rob just pointed out, George R. R. Martin is one of the co-creators of House of the Dragon.
Yeah.
He was a producer on the show. I'm not talking about this just as him as the guy who wrote the books. I'm talking about him as a guy who's already involved with the show. And again, to me, it just kind of saddens me that their relationship has deteriorated to that point. But you know what? Look, at the end of the day, as a viewer, all I care about is you give me a good show.
Yeah.
And so far, House of the Dragon for me has delivered in spades.
It has. I
don't think it's as good as Shogun, but I think it's been pretty damn great. And I look forward to seeing where season 3 goes.
Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, BetterHelp. You know, the new year doesn't require a new you, maybe just a less burdened you. Most of us carry around things like pressure, self-doubt, or that feeling that we always have to be perfect, and learning to let some of that go can make a huge difference in our lives. Therapy can help you better understand what's weighing you down by giving you an unbiased perspective on your relationships, motivations, and emotions. That's where BetterHelp comes in. See, BetterHelp connects you with quality therapists who are fully licensed in the US and follow a strict professional code of conduct. They also do the matching work for you. You fill out a short questionnaire, and with over 12 years of experience and industry-leading match rates, they usually get it right the first time. And if you ever want to switch therapists, you can do that easily from their tailored recommendations. BetterHelp is also one of the world's largest online therapy platforms, plus an average 4.9 out of 5 rating from over 1.7 million live session reviews. BetterHelp makes it easy to match online with a qualified therapist. Sign up and get 10% off at betterhelp.com/Campea. That's BETTERHELP.com/Campea.
Anyway, guys, what do you think about this? Whatever your thoughts are, jump down to the comment section below and leave those thoughts there. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.